everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Last But Not Least podcast. It's your boy, Mr.Snapasode.
What up? It's KG, Troy Fontaine.
And we got a special guest here today.
Yes,
special guest here today. We got Miss Danisha here in the building.
What it do?
Trying to represent, you know what I mean? Give y'all some good content as always. Got an interesting topic coming up here down here in the forefront. Let's get to it. Dating.
In Atlanta.
Dating in Atlanta.
Specifically.
Yes.
In Atlanta. For those who don't know, we are based in Atlanta. The Black Hollywood, as they call it nowadays.
Yes, sir.
Don't know if I 100% buy into the Black Hollywood thing.
It's Black Hollywood.
Yeah, definitely.
It's Black Hollywood.
Is this Black Hollywood?
I seen a post that somebody said in Atlanta, it's like everybody thinks they're celebrities.
Exactly.
That's true. That's true. Be it true or untrue.
It's
Be
true.
it true or
Everybody think
untrue.
they're celebrity.
That's
They
very
got
true.
something going on in their own world that make them the star.
Yeah, but half of them ain't from it. Well, that's another conversation.
It is.
That's a whole nother conversation. Most people ain't from. I'm not from Atlanta.
They came to Atlanta to be a star.
Yeah, but you know.
We don't say they from Atlanta, just people in Atlanta.
I mean, just because you recorded a record don't mean you a star. But I mean, that's a secondary comment. I don't want to get off topic already.
Wait.
That's not the only way.
If my family and friends think I'm a star, then I'm a star, damn it.
No,
Yeah.
that's not how that works.
Okay.
Your little ugly ass drawing ain't going on the
It
refrigerator.
is.
No, it's not.
And my mama gonna put a star by it and everything.
You know what? And that's how I know it's trash.
And buy every copy. You're right.
Yeah, that's how it is. But the dating market in Atlanta, if you could, Danisha, if you could briefly kind of speak to some of your experiences and what you believe is wrong in the dating market.
Wrong.
And what you believe is right.
Everything is wrong.
Oh.
There's rarely anything that's right about it. I would say that it's a little easier to pick and choose these days.
How so?
But all the apps, all the
All the apps.
swiping,
Do you swipe?
left,
Do you swipe?
right.
You swipe?
I hit the X a lot, yeah.
I ain't seen you on there. Well, you might hit the X on me then.
Dang, I hit the X a lot. I'm not even gonna lie. I do just be like,
But okay, so because it's so easy, it's because swiping essentially it's kind of dismissive. I get like there's so many dudes that are coming at you, and you got to kind of filter out which ones you want. But in the same breath, it's kind of like because you got so many. It's almost like when you go to Cheesecake Factory. You go to Cheesecake Factory. If you don't know what you want going in, it may take you 45 minutes to look at that goddamn menu because there's so many different options, and it's like you really can't go wrong no matter what you choose.
Yep.
And it I don't know. I think you can be a victim of options sometimes. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
guys don't have. Back when I knew what the dating market was, guys.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say I agree
Speak on
or
it.
disagree.
Speak on it.
I mean, like she said, it's different. It's hard. It ain't as easy as people want it to be.
It's hard to find quality.
Quality.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Like, I can go find anybody. to
Anybody,
date,
yeah. But quality.
Will it be somebody that I'm compatible with?
Well, so and that's another thing. There's different. To me, there's different levels of compatibility. You got people who are, maybe you're financially compatible. Maybe y'all make same amount of money. Maybe you guys are in the same lane to be where you want to be. You got some people that are sexually compatible. Maybe y'all sex drives, link up to each other.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you get people that you can't even really have a conversation with
That's
unless
true
you're not
too.
having sex. So it's like
Right.
there are different lanes of compatibility, and it's kind of difficult to navigate that because I remember I was talking to KG about how easy it is for a guy to put on like he's a guy for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Like it's easy to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If somebody told me today, Jonathan, I need you to look like $1 million for the 3-4 hours that I see you, I'm renting a Lambo. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to Lennox. I'm getting a Balmain shirt.
Exactly.
It's easy to do that for a day. 2 days, 3 days, you kind of start stretching it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can only imagine like being in the dating market today where it's like, I'm going to put my best foot forward. Most men put their best foot forward when they see you. So they on par, they act accordingly. They don't say nothing out the way, nothing out the pocket. But as soon as the draws come up and the draws are given up, GTD, as soon as time to get the draws. As soon as time to get the draws. I got the draws, dog. It's like a switch hit. It's like, oh, okay, now I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now I can go back to acting like me.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That's what happens.
That's crazy.
I mean, do you think men put up that persona to get the draws or to actually date somebody?
In my experience, I have learned that some men do want a legit relationship and are not gonna hook up with you.
Right.
And there are some men who will be completely honest with you and tell you that they just want to hook up with you. So
how do you accept that? Like, do you want somebody to be up front?
100%.
Okay. Okay.
So when you tell me like, yeah, you're looking for this, you're looking for that, and you just want to hook up, it's like, what the hell?
Right. Well, let me ask you this. So the guys who tell you up front, I just want to hook up, do you believe they have more options than the other guys who don't tell you that up front?
No.
Really? Okay.
I believe that sometimes they don't have any options at all.
Oh, wow.
The reason why they tell you up front?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because they feel like, maybe some girls really do want to hook up.
Do they?
I think they do.
I mean, I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying
sometimes.
I think a lot of girls are more sexually energized than men. They
I don't
keep
deny
it
that.
at bay.
I don't deny that. I think it's a bad business model though for a guy to just be like, hey, I just want to have sex. Hey, I just want to have sex. Hey, I just want to have sex. I think more women are gonna say no to that right off the drip than somebody who would just say, hey, let me get to know you, even though his intentions aren't defined necessarily. I think that's probably a better lane to get into somebody's personal space and to make them start liking you, because ultimately you can be attracted to somebody, but I don't like you yet. Like, I got to get to know you a little bit. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
Yeah, but some girls nowadays, you know how it's like city girls, city boys. It gets to that level. Sometimes when you're out and you have drinks involved and you're thinking in your head, like, how can I get him before he gets me? I know he wants to fuck, so let's fuck.
That's very blunt. That's very blunt. Shout out. And you're from?
Rhode Island.
Make sure everybody knows she's from Rhode Island. I mean, because the temperaments are different. I definitely, like, when you have women that are from Baltimore, Rhode Island, New York, Jersey, and stuff like that, they temperaments a lot different. They're a lot more direct. There's like, in Atlanta, it's like a sexual innuendo, if you will. Like, where it's like a lot of stuff that's not really said, but it's implied. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like in Atlanta, it's a trade for a trade.
Oh, okay.
So if I do something for you, do something for me. If I can benefit from your resources, then I'll be the girl on your arm, or I'll give you some sex or whatever it is. In the same way with males, if I can benefit from your resources, I'll be your male. The dude, you might be the ugly duckling at the job, but I'll show up to the Christmas party with you, no problem.
You know? I mean, yeah,
interesting.
You have that. You know what I'm saying?
I say that it's in Atlanta. Might not be up north.
No, not up north, but I can see
Atlanta,
what you're saying.
in the South, you see what I'm saying? Like, if I do something for you, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. That's how I feel it is.
Yeah, but see, again, that's implied though. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys out here, correct me if I'm wrong, that take a female out on a date and they like, what's up with the draws? That's implied that if I take you out, then we get to go further when we leave a restaurant. But that's not agreed upon. That's just implied. Like, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of guys, you know, the simps of the world, as they call them, they in that circle. They in that circle a lot. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. And you got the simps that pay for food and never get any sexual benefit from it. Then you got a new term that I didn't know nothing about till probably about a couple months ago. Munchers, apparently.
What's a munch? What's that?
Apparently, and correct me if I'm wrong, a muncher is a guy that eats a woman's private area and gets nothing other than that. Wow. And I didn't even know that was a term.
Have you heard of that?
They munch.
You ain't got to be quiet.
I've experienced it before it was a term.
Okay.
So I can understand how it becomes a term because of that new song. But
right.
Yeah, but I mean, a guy that sits there and only
does that.
Sometimes some men really just say that that's all they want. That's what they really like suspicious. To enjoy.
Okay. You don't find that suspicious.
All right now.
You don't find that suspicious.
So they do that. They get up and they say, I'm good, and they're gone.
I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine. Not to say that it don't happen.
Right.
I've been paid for it to happen before.
Really?
Oh wow.
You gotta give us this experience. You got to.
It was an older guy. I'm assuming it's an older guy, right?
Very older.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I'm the older guy.
Yeah, Nate from Set It Off. For y'all who know who you haven't seen Set It Off.
I need this Nate.
I'm in a bind, Nate. Some other time.
Oh man.
I mean, but that's kind of the way of the world, man. It's like, you know, and that's why they say men don't get to their prime until they're like 35 because financially that's our prime. And for women, your prime is like 18 up to, I think, like they say 25, 26, 27, somewhere around there. Because as a guy, you're more desirable the more resources that you have. So younger women look at you and say, well, I want the flashy this, I want the BMW, the Mercedes, this and the third. When I was 19, I was working at KFC. I couldn't afford I was at KFC.
I'm thinking about Chick-fil-A.
I've been in both chicken spots. I was slanging chicken on the south side of Atlanta, believe that.
Yeah, he was.
So yeah, like the older you get, the more money you have to buy frivolous things and to kind of put on front. And that's what a lot of younger women want. So it's like, it's a weird dynamic where it's just like, as you start getting into your 30s, you realize that women are trying to settle down when they was kind of speeding up. But now that you're financially able to deal with some women, now you speeding up. So it's like y'all come to an impasse where it's just like, she kind of on the way down as far as desirability goes, quote unquote. I got to quote that because females will be like, I'm 47. I still look good. I'm not saying you don't.
You still look good.
I'm not saying you
don't.
Don't
Let nobody tell you don't.
I'm about to say, I can't really co-sign that stuff he's saying.
Well,
you got a different opinion on it?
Yeah,
I mean, no, I kind of agree in a way because, like, from personal experience, the father of my kids is 3 years younger than me. We met when he was really young, like in his teens, and I was kind of in my 20s already, doing my thing, had my own thing going on. And us growing together, he's kind of like grown, I feel, a little slower than I have.
Well, that's they say men mature slower than women.
Is that true though?
I don't feel like we've come to the gateway.
Oh wow. So you on 20 East, he on 20 West, and you way ahead of him.
He's in traffic.
Oh God.
Oh man.
Real bad Atlanta traffic.
Oh God.
Yeah, Atlanta traffic is terrible.
I mean, goodness gracious. They bottlenecking for no reason. Well, I mean, so I guess that would come down to like circumstance. So it's like, are you ambitious enough to continue to move forward, or are you becoming content in your situation?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That would be a bigger thing, because I think everybody can admit you're gonna have hurdles that fall into your path, right? Some expected, some unexpected. But it's about whether or not you clear it, and if you don't clear it, do you get back up and keep moving? And some dudes just don't. Some people in general just don't. They don't want to do more than what they're doing, and it's like, especially when you're in Atlanta, because there's so many black people in Atlanta, African Americans, that are doing so well. I feel like the possibilities are endless here. Like, being from Ohio, you didn't have black people that was really successful. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I think the best you could do was like shift manager at Wendy's or some shit. He was in there.
Hey, he was making his money.
Store manager at Dollar General is in there in Cincinnati, bro.
Like swim well.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So I thought it was different, but I don't know. I don't know how guys get so content, like, and they don't want to do more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Are the standards of women changing?
No, I think it's just your surroundings, really. It depends on where you are. For men, I feel like it absolutely depends on their environment. I feel like for women, it doesn't really depend on where they are so much, because, like, if they're in a situation, especially mothers, like, they got to grind. Like, it's just, you got to do it. But for men, it's like, I kind of need a push. But if they're in an environment where they're around other men who are doing it, it's like, yeah, okay, well, I'm doing it too.
Right. Well, I would definitely say for me, it's difficult to befriend other men. Not necessarily like, you know what I'm saying? Cause I go to LA Fitness or whatever, and I get cool with the people I play basketball with, you know what I'm saying? The people I know from high school, like this clown right here, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, the people that men know generally, like, they know them. Like, I think women are easier. You guys can go out and meet somebody tomorrow and just link up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sis.
They take their side.
Right. Like,
immediately.
It's like,
that ain't right. He shouldn't have did that.
Y'all just met.
And
like,
you don't know what
she
did to him to make him do that.
Yeah. But I think that helps, because the older I get, the more I notice that networking is like everything. Especially like, you know, being in like the real estate or property management market. There's so many jobs that you get just based off somebody telling you, hey, you know, such and such is hiring. You're like, for real?
Yep.
It's like, so it's a great thing, but most men aren't going to put themselves in a position where they start marketing themselves that way. You know what I mean? We too prideful for whatever reason.
I was gonna ask, what's the reason?
Pride.
Pride is one of it.
Because if you need help, you need to get it.
That's true, but it's also competitive market. So every dude to a degree is competition. Like, most men should look at other men like competition. So it's like, the more money he make, okay, let's just put it like this. Put in a scenario, right? If your play to get a woman is to show her finances, then if that's what she's attracted to, then every guy with more finances than you is a threat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I got with a female and she liked me because I drove a Lexus and I had on a chain, well, what do I do when the dude in the Lamborghini or Ferrari pull up? You know what I'm saying? And he got like a Cuban link worth, $20,000, $30,000. Now I feel threatened. Whether the threat's there or not is totally up to the guy.
No, I think that's a bad way of looking at it. I think that if she's interested in you, you shouldn't worry about anybody else that makes more. You should find more ways to make her interested in you.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
That's a bar.
Because as a woman, like for me personally, from experience, I've dated men who've had nothing, and I've always been like the breadwinner in the situation. So it's not like there's anybody else that could have replaced him in any situation. It was just something about that person that made them like stick to me.
Right. Well, that's a good thing. And I think there are some females who have that sentiment, you know what I'm saying, where it's just like, and I guess guys just don't pay attention to it, but it's like, we look at it like, okay, like, the lines I'm kicking to her couldn't have been that good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like yeah, I got a game, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I gamed her up to that point. Like, and social media makes it just as worse. You know what I'm saying? I know social media is bad on females, but it's bad on men too, because what you do is you get on Instagram and then you see that, let's just say, for instance, your friend, her husband he just got me. We got twin cars and we went to the Alps this weekend. And it's just like, dang, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that for my girl. And maybe she feels some type of way. So I guess it's all about communicating on what your spouse or your female wants or your significant other wants, and being able to understand that you are enough. But I think especially in Atlanta, it's tough to feel that way when it's just it's so many options. To your point, like you said earlier.
I was gonna ask, do you think men should date in their bracket?
Absolutely.
Okay, what do you mean by bracket?
So what I mean is, if I, like you said, a guy that makes nothing, and then I see a girl that makes $100,000 a year, should I shoot my shot at her, knowing that I can't provide whatever she got?
Congratulations.
No.
Well, but that's the thing. How do you know? Like when you punching upward, right? How do you know? Like she said, she's dealt with dudes that were underneath what she was doing this for a while. So it's like, how do you know as a guy that she's out your league?
I mean, you don't know. That's why most guys shoot they shot at whoever. I mean, you don't know. You, in your mind or in my mind, I'm thinking whatever I set my sight on, I'm gonna get.
I mean, that's so. What do you think?
I guess
about
you got to look at the way she kind of presents herself, because even though I am a certain type of woman, I do act ratchet a lot. So I think that's why I attract like real bummy niggas. But
God damn.
that's just
that's
what I give out.
Right.
So it's like, I get that. But when I present myself in other types of ways, I see what like comes my way. So you kind of got to like see how she carries herself. No, I love thugs.
So you don't like the business type.
I love business type too. That's what I desire now, growing as a woman in life.
Yeah, that's
growing as a woman. I do like me a man in a suit now.
So let me ask you this age-old question.
Uh-oh.
Do nice guys finish last?
Probably so.
Probably so.
Probably so. Because you got to get it out your system first. You got to get the wild and crazy trap queen life out your system first.
So how do you do that? How long does that take?
That's a great question.
How long does that take to get it out of your system?
How many bodies is out of you? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it really boiled down to.
Like, here's another question. I seen this on TikTok or Instagram. One of them. Does every woman have a whole face?
Yes.
Oh man.
Sorry.
So my future wife, gonna have a whole face. You better not.
She's not
sometimes it doesn't last like long at all.
Okay. But they have one. It's a face. It might be 2, 3.
Especially if they've went to an HBCU.
Oh wow.
No.
I'm sorry.
Did you go one?
Yes.
Oh, which one?
Winston-Salem State University.
Okay.
Rams in the building.
Okay. Represent. Goodness gracious. And you got one little sad little dude on the sideline talking about
What more do you want from me?
It's a phase.
Yeah.
It's a phase.
You can't help it. You just can't help it. You just can't.
And that's the thing, right? And I know a lot of people give like Andrew Tate like fluff, right? And they gave Kevin Samuels a lot of fluff. But I think what they were trying to get people to understand is that you have women that go through that phase, right? And on the back end of that phase, they want the NBA player, they want the movie star, they want the top tier guy after that phase. And it's like, why wouldn't you go for that guy before the phase? Because from a guy's perspective, you'd be more valuable had you not done X, Y, and Z. Now, granted, you can lie.
Guys never express that until it's too late. That's the issue.
Oh.
Guys always go for the fast girls before they go for the good girls.
Well, you're trying to get laid. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
So then we
You
gonna
gotta-
give it up and see who's gonna make us happy.
Oh man.
I mean,
And that's the whole phase.
Right.
And I get that. You know what I'm saying? I want to say somebody was like some years ago, I seen an interview and they was like, you don't see a lion in the wild chasing the strongest gazelle, the fastest gazelle, talking about, so I'm trying to eat. They go after the sick little weak ones that can't run. I'm just trying to eat. And that's really the same kind of technique that men use when it comes to like laying up with a female. It's just like, we've all been at a club before. You've all been kind of scouring the club to see what's what. And you got that one female, heel broke, drinking a hand.
Here's another drink.
Here's another drink, ma'am. You look like you drunk. Here's another one.
Here's another one. Take that one.
You know, everybody's
Keep
been
the party
there.
going.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, at the end of the day, I think the accomplishment for sleeping with a female for a guy is an accomplishment. For females, I don't know if it's necessarily an accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy. It's easy.
It's easy.
Yeah.
For women. For men,
Yeah.
it's so easy.
Literally every man will just, like, they don't typically say no.
Yeah, I mean, I would think most dudes is like me, because at the end of the
said
day,
Regardless of
before.
the situation they're in.
I said no before.
that you said no before.
I said no, not over here. Not over here.
Oh, no.
That ain't no. That's just not right now. That's the difference. I mean, because it's a difficult thing, and like I said, when we were doing we did the body count podcast. When you look at the numbers and say the average number is 19, it's just like, goodness gracious, like, you know what I'm saying? Like 19, and I guess in theory is a big number, but if you say that you have a sexual lifespan of 30 years and you say you laid with 19 people. You went to college. You like when were you
that's not
sexually
really
active?
believable. I mean,
You don't
if
think
you've
so?
lost your virginity, for just think about it realistically. If you lost your virginity at a young age, let's say high school, 15, 16 years old.
Typical.
How long were you with your high school sweetheart? Till you went to college.
Probably.
Because that's when you got crazy. You're in college.
What grade are you in at 16?
Probably sophomore,
11, 10?
depending on when your birthday falls.
Okay, so you got 2 years left in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably with them for 2 years. Maybe a year after that before you get to college and like, nah, we ain't gonna make it.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Then you get to college. And when you're in college, probably your first 2 years, you're not really dating anybody, but you're having a lot of sex.
yeah, you getting it in.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, think about it. Like, you took yourself out of a pool.
But-
You took yourself out of a pool of guys, right?
Right.
And this is one thing that I think the older we get, we gotta, kind of look at the scales a little bit and say it's not really just, right? Because when we were in school, you could only really deal with the people that was in the surrounding area, surrounding schools, this, that, and the third. Like, so a female born, that's in like high school now, think about it. She got all the guys in her school that didn't have courage to say nothing to her in her face and her DMs on Instagram. On top of that, all the rivaling schools can now find her social media and then holler at her. And then the guys that ain't even in her state can holler at her, fly her out and all this other stuff. So it's just
not no teenager though.
you be surprised, bro.
Not no teenager.
You'd be surprised. Look, 17, 18 years old. I'm going over Sally's house for the weekend. Come find out you in Las Vegas somewhere.
Not my mama.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Nowadays, parents is checking.
But my boyfriend was still sneaking in the window.
See?
You see what I'm saying? Terrible. I got cameras all over the house.
No.
Oh, none of my kids think
Not
about
getting
it.
food out at 17.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe 19, 20.
Man.
What,
Out of
girl,
high
you gotta
school.
go to work.
out of high
Man,
school.
I know people that I know families and mothers and stuff like that. They're so trusting that they be like, oh, I'm going over KG house.
Come on over here.
I'm not never gonna trust my kids that much. I'm sorry.
I agree, but it's just like you have so much more access. You know what I'm saying? I remember chat rooms was like the devil back when I was in high school. Like,
listen,
you go in the chat room, ain't nothing but perverts in there.
Yeah.
Now that's the only people
AOL.
huh?
Nisha401 at AOL.com.
Oh goodness, shameless plug. But yeah, it's so much different nowadays. So it's just like to think that 19 is the number when you think about like how many dudes does she have to turn down to get to 19? You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know,
that's in a lifetime, right?
That's what it's supposed to be. I can't see 19, bro.
But in a lifetime, yeah.
19?
In a lifetime, yeah.
Nah, that still seems.
Now, if you say 19 in a short period of time, maybe, but 19.
You ain't never seen Maury before? I done seen females go on there with 15 different dudes, and ain't none of them the baby daddy.
True. But that ain't 19, it's 15.
Still. In
15.
a week.
So she got how many more
in
left?
an ovulation cycle?
She got how many more left?
2 minutes.
Just sex.
It is just sex.
Well, that's another good conversation. I'm glad you mentioned that, right? And it's a great pivot point, right? So when you talk about like it's just sex, generally speaking, the consensus is that women don't generally separate sex from emotions, and that those two things are tied. Which for guys is not so much universally the case. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that? Because some females can divide the two. They can be like, oh, it's just sex. And then some females be like, he must love me because he had sex with me. So what are your thoughts on that?
I guess it depends on the emotion you're wanting to associate with it, because I feel like some females may associate the having sex with control. Like, okay, well, now he's going to do whatever I want him to do.
I mean, possibly, if you're the only one he having sex with.
Not only that. I mean, there's some guys who are having sex with multiple women, or you never know what you need them for, right? I need you to fix my brakes, or can you get somebody to fix my brakes? And you just got somebody to fix your brakes, or you got somebody to go to the movies with. Wow. You got somebody you go on trips with.
Player. Well, I mean, that's the game.
Dating.
That's the game.
That's definitely the game.
For it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where it's like it's a weird position for a guy to be in, right? Because it's like you can be the guy that done took her out to eat, right? You drop her off, she ain't doing nothing but calling the next nigga. Yeah. Because he ain't got no money, but he's slanging dick.
Yes, he is. Hey, I got a story. I was dating this older chick.
Okay. How old? How much older?
She probably was about 6 years older than me.
Okay.
I'm probably in my early 20s.
Okay. So this is a while ago.
Yeah, a while ago. And so I'm dating a chick, courting her, whatever. She was old enough and played me so well that she said, hey, I'm finna go on a date. I'm like, cool. We wasn't together, so I'm like, all right, whatever. So she went on a date, and the guy she went on a date with, she told me the guy was older. Went on a date to the movies, and then she came back. And when she came back, she brought this assortment of ice cream toppings because I was her dessert. That was dinner. I was dessert. He didn't get anything, but I got the benefit of it. Oh wow! And I was at her house just on the couch chilling, waiting on her.
And were you okay with that?
I don't know, because at the time I was young.
What were the toppings?
I mean,
what were the toppings?
I mean, it was
caramel.
It was caramel, chocolate,
whipped
it was some
cream.
strawberry, it was whipped cream, and whatever. But at the time, I don't know if I was okay because I was young. I didn't know how to accept. I was like, well, he ain't have sex with, I'm having sex with. That's how I looked at it. Like, I mean, I feel like I benefited. You paid for the movie, and I'm getting the benefit.
That's true, but I guess the question, I mean, most men are like super territorial, so I guess it's just like, I don't really know how I would feel about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
maybe the first guy didn't know because
he probably didn't know.
Right.
She told me because, like I said, I'm younger than her.
Right. And
so
you didn't care.
I'm like, shit, I'm getting the draws anyway.
Right.
Exactly.
That's true.
You know, so
she was doing it correctly.
That's true. So how long were you her dessert?
That lasts about a good maybe a year and a half.
Oh, okay. Well, that's actually a long time. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's actually a long time. I'm gonna start calling you Dairy Queen. I mean, that's some hellified talk. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. But I think that's a kind of a weird position to be in, where it's just like, as a dude, especially if you don't really know where things is like heading, like, you know what I'm saying? Because nobody you talk to ain't talking to nobody. I think that's number one. Like, people just kind of think like, oh yeah, like I met this girl, man. That girl probably got 3-4 people that she talking to. Not to say they serious
in the beginning.
I
think in the beginning, nobody's letting their other options go until you know for sure that this is the one you want to try.
Okay, so when is that point? When do you hit that? Okay, you on the dating market, you got 6 guys that you're talking to. When do you pull back and be like, I can't mess with y'all no more?
When do you pull back? Well, I'm dating with purpose. So if it's me personally and I'm out there looking, I would have to see that they're also showing that they're dating with purpose as well. I guess I come off real homegirlish, so a lot of guys just are real comfortable telling me about their other females.
They friends on you?
No, they don't friends on me. Like, they just
tell you about other females.
Like, it's real. It's not friend zone because you still want me to be exclusive with you.
Yeah.
You don't want me to talk about my other options.
Right.
Oh, okay. So there's some sexual tension there, but then they still have conversations with you.
But it's like, yeah, but we cool. We not. We're not exclusive.
Y'all ain't got no title on it. That's crazy.
That exclusive thing is just hilarious to me. I mean, like,
what's up?
Well, I mean, because it's just like, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I think after a certain age, and we all adults here. Everybody who's listening to this should be an adult. If not, your mama should be watching this. But I think after a certain point, like, I hate to say it, condoms kind of get boring. Like, you know what I mean? I think because of that, you should probably be selective who you laying down with.
You're right about that.
So it's just like, shouldn't be in the streets like that.
Let me ask you this. You say you're dating with a purpose.
Yes.
Does dating with a purpose minimize your dating pool or choices?
Yes.
It does. Okay.
So much.
From where to
so
where?
Much.
So if it was here to where did it get to?
So without dating with a purpose, I pretty much had more options just being able to go out with somebody and it being like a one time we went out and that was it.
Right. So you was a serial dater.
Yes.
Okay. Oh God, that sounds violent.
Yes.
That sounds violent as shit.
I've been called a serial ghoster. That's what you would
Oh wow. Wow.
But dating with a purpose is like, now I have to actually read your bio and ask you these questions and spend this time with you and see how you deal with this situation. And then what about the kids? Like, these are things I gotta think about. So it's more like, I know my mama's not gonna like that tattoo on your face. So next, like, it's real like small.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And then I have standards. So then you gotta add that in there.
Right. That makes it even smaller.
Yes.
So you only got one choice.
Nothing.
That nice guy.
The Lord.
The Lord. Oh God. Hey. On a side note, I mean, old Donnie McClurkin, he back out here talking about he fighting the urge to sleep with men.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Old Donnie McClurkin. He falls down. What was he falling on?
He get back up.
He get back up. Yeah, man. That's the scary part is just like you got a lot of people that lean toward religion. You know what I'm saying? Like when they need guidance and you hear all these scandals coming out about religious people in powers of position taking advantage of people. And it's just like, I don't know where you really go to for true guidance. Like it's hard to get an opinion that isn't motivated by some type of objective, a scheme of some sort. Like to sit down and have conversations like this where it's just like everybody's just having fun and there's no motives. You don't really get this a lot anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
You gotta trust in yourself. That's why I'm not religious, but I trust in an upper power. I do have somebody that I pray to and somebody that I believe is looking out for me and angels that I believe are looking out for me. But I don't feel like I gotta go to church every Sunday. I don't feel like I gotta read the Bible. Like I don't have any rituals or anything like that. But I'm blessed. You just gotta feel it within.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think to some degree, like being overly religious, there's a part about being super religious that is congruent with being slightly naive. I don't think you can look into the stories of the Bible and not ask yourself a couple of questions like, hold on, my G. You took 2 of every animal, put them on a boat, and they just got along.
Yes.
What happened to the shit after they ate? Who?
Yes.
What kind of team? You know what kind of people you would need to run a ship like that?
Yes.
So it's just like some of that stuff is just like, I think the idea of, the Bible and, religion, I think we all can subscribe to you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. But when it comes down to what this person looked like, I think they do that to kind of sway the masses and to make some people feel less than and to elevate other people. So to your point, I'm not an overly religious person. I do believe that I'm here and there's a purpose for me being here and somebody put me here.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But as far as like believing all these stories that have been touched by man, that's where I get a little, little shaky on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Not easy to believe also.
True. Some of this stuff is like, you took your son to the mountaintop and a voice in the sky told you to kill one, and right before you did, you stopped. It's like somebody would call you deranged and crazy if you did that today. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
That was back then.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So you telling me people didn't have hallucinations back then? I'm sure they had brain tumors and stuff. Well, I don't know brain tumors, but I'm sure they had health conditions.
What did King Tut die from? Didn't he die from something?
King Tut.
Yeah.
That I don't know.
Illness or something.
I'm not versed on Egyptian.
I be watching it all the time. Like I go to Disney and I put on stuff about King Tut and Egypt. I just want to go to Africa.
You got a Disney membership? I got kids, so I mean,
I got a Disney membership because of Marvel.
That sounds like
okay.
Yeah, that sounds like because of Marvel.
That's what you did. You did.
I don't watch. I haven't watched any.
Accusations. These are not
I haven't watched any
false
episodes
accusations.
of Proud Family except
I was about to say.
I missed the last
Louder
episode.
and Prouder. I know
But
you've been
new
watching
episode,
Louder
I haven't
and
watched
Prouder.
the new episode.
I know you've been watching Louder and Prouder. I know you have.
Oh man!
Wow.
I mean, it's a good show. It's a family show. We need stuff like that.
Is it?
It's a family show.
I knew it.
Cat's out the bag. Cat's out the bag.
Hey, I like entertainment.
KG watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse in the morning before he get to work. I'm forced to watch it.
Hot dog, hot
Oh,
hot
my
diggity dog.
Oh my God. My son's so bad. He got a phone, a tablet, and he still want the TV to be
Really?
on Mickey Mouse. I'm like, no, dude. No, this
You
is
got a big one.
Oh my God, the kid stories. And it's funny, like when you get kids, stuff like that, you start really paying attention to some of these messages that they be sending out. These little subliminals, like Disney's like real slick, like how they slide little stuff in there, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was looking at like Pete the other day, like Pete, which is like, he's like Goofy's partner or whatever.
Oh.
Pete always the bad guy. Pete always up to some shit. He always scamming. He always lying, hustling people.
They ain't from Atlanta.
I don't know. Might be. Pete got a PPP loan.
Right.
Terrible.
10,000 went a long way then.
Terrible.
Oh, my goodness.
Have you heard Gracie Corner?
Yes.
What's
Have
that?
you heard of Gracie? You ain't heard of Gracie Corner? I heard of Gracie Corner.
What's that?
Yes.
I don't
It's
know.
like a kid's, it's like a musical YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A little black girl.
They just bring a little hip hop to like the
Like,
younger
rap
generation
music, like the
for them-
ABC
help
is
them
like
learn,
you could really play that in the club.
right.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like
You gotta pull it up.
Kid pop, like Kid Pop number one.
Pull it up.
You saw what's
Check
it
it
called?
out.
Gracie Corn?
Gracie
Gracie's
Corner.
Corner.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Like you really could be jammed to that.
Right. Like you can put it on and just ride.
Gracie's Corner.
It's a good mix for kids and parents.
Right. It helps them learn because they're gonna be singing it.
They're talking about money,
Yeah.
ABC,
Do the ABC one. That's the one that
1, 2, 3,
Okay.
that's the one that went
left
viral.
and right.
That is right there.
And it was a little girl and her dad that came up with these videos.
This is my first time hearing this, y'all.
Really?
This is a reaction video.
Man, I put Gracie in the car.
Hey, do you know the alphabet?
No, I don't.
Sing along with me.
Okay. Ah, that ain't it. That ain't the one I'm talking about. I can get with it.
My ABCs.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't laugh, cause the kids gonna be jamming to it.
Right.
A,
B,
B,
C,
C,
D,
D, A. You can't tell me what ride of that. Hey, a beat in there.
That's an 808 hit.
L, M, N,
O, P, A.
Q,
I'm just saying, you just put that on.
Yeah, that's.
They jamming, you jamming, and they learning. It's like it's a win-win.
It's almost like a Caribbean beat too. Like that's what's crazy.
But the other one I'm talking about, it had like a hood type beat to it.
There's a lot of them.
Come on and sing with me.
If you work for Gracie's Corner, please don't sue us because I'm gonna probably put that in there because you have to have the visual.
Shout
on
out to
that.
Gracie's Corner, man. Keep
Yes,
doing your thing.
for
Shout out
real.
to Gracie's Corner.
Best thing.
1.6 million subscribers.
Yes,
This video
go ahead,
has
Gracie.
7.8 million
Yes,
views.
Black family, do that thing.
Oh my God. I gotta show this one to my son when I get home.
I'm gonna look up the one I want you to really hear.
Oh,
It's
my
that
goodness.
one at the top, I think.
Which talking about?
Right there.
This one?
Yeah.
The phonic
Yes.
song?
Gracie's
Yeah, the
Corner.
phonic song. That's
Oh,
what it
yeah.
was.
It's a
Yeah.
phonic song.
Hey,
Yes.
let's learn
This
the
one hard,
sounds
bro.
of the
This
letters.
the twerking one or something.
Oh, well.
There it is. Yeah.
This
Hey,
is the phonic song.
I can hear OJ on this. Hey.
God is right. This is the phonic song.
Yeah.
Not the flute.
The flute.
That shit
And
crazy.
they in
Phonic
Egypt.
song.
Look at this. Man, come on.
What
Hey.
sound does that letter make?
This
Yeah.
shit hard.
Tell me you ain't riding it. Yeah.
Put the
Hey.
sounds together,
Hey.
now read
Three words. Hey.
A says
Hey.
B says
Yeah.
This shit is hard.
I'm telling you, bro. Put it in the car.
C says
This shit gonna ride.
Oh my God.
That's when we need let little man hear.
D says
But they got a whole
My niece
Bunch of
loves Gracie's Corner.
they got a whole bunch of videos. Go in there and check it out, bro.
In an effort to save
say
some
no,
time,
put you on
I'm gonna
there.
cut that off, but I'm definitely gonna.
Yes.
Don't say I ain't never put you on
Yes.
game, man.
That one got 62 million views.
That's the one that
bro.
went.
Yes.
That's the first one I heard.
That is crazy.
Yes.
That's amazing though. That is amazing. And then to see all black characters and stuff
Yes.
like that, that's real good. That's what's up. I'm real big on that. I don't have any. Not to say I'm not like a racist and nothing like that, but I try to make sure that we as black people are projected in a positive light in my household. So you go to my house for Christmas, you'll see like a black Santa. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't try to. I feel like we've been whitewashed to a certain degree because it's just like, I mean, come on, y'all got white folk in Egypt, man. Y'all know how hot it is in Egypt. Ain't nothing but brown people in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Now, what religion and what actual origin they come from is neither here nor there. But it's just like, yeah, some of that stuff is just kind of like crazy. But so it's good to see something like
Yes.
that, man.
I like that. It's a black comic book out. It's about the Tuskegee Airmen. I gotta find the name.
Okay.
But it's comic style, sort of like that, and they're talking about them as little people or little children going through little
Okay, when you say-
children problems.
Oh, okay.
But they're like Tuskegee Airmen.
Oh, okay. That's dope.
Yeah.
I just bought a book from Target. I can't remember what it's titled right now, but it's about slavery. And it's a slavery book to read to children and teach them about slavery.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was reading it to my boys. I have twin boys. They're 5 years old.
Okay.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to them.
And my little boys were just like, I'm just reading it like how I read all the other books in my character voice and trying to just give them a good story.
Get them engaged.
And they were so heartbroken. So I
Were
know
they?
that book is very effective.
Have you took them to the museum in Washington D.C.?
No, but they want to go now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Be prepared.
I have been.
You've been?
I have been.
Okay, so you
I
know how
I
it
actually
is.
went when I was pregnant with them.
Oh, did you?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you start from the bottom?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yes.
If you haven't been, you need to go.
I'm not familiar. I've been to the
Yes.
Freedom Center in Cincinnati, but I've never.
Go
No,
to the
the
one in
other one,
Washington
DC,
D.C. You'll have a
it's-
different outlook on everything. Like, really? This what they went through?
Give me a little bit more because I think I'm not
Okay.
the only person that not
So
familiar with it.
it from the I forget how many stories it is, but you
think it's
start
like
from the
4.
bottom
Okay.
where they go to
Shout out
Africa.
Drake.
You start at the bottom where they go from Africa,
Uh-huh.
and they show you how they pick them out, what they go through, what they do, the pails that they put the cotton in, and all that kind of stuff, and it just evolves from that point all the way up until the modern day.
Oh wow.
So from
So you
slavery,
go
from
yeah.
Africa, slavery to getting our rights and segregation, getting our rights and everything,
rights movement.
all the way to now.
So I guess my question, and to you two that have experienced to some degree that is like, how much of teaching slavery is motivational opposed to like a negative pull, or you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like every year there's a slavery movie come out, and I don't know if we really need more reminders that we were slaves.
It's not necessarily a reminder. It's just letting you know where you come from, why the things that we do, how we do it, and why we do it.
Mm.
It's not. Don't forget about this.
Right. I get that.
So that's the reason why I think it should be taught. Not necessarily in school, but at least the parents should be like, hey, this is what your great grandfathers and fathers before them had to go through to get you to a point where you can listen to your iPod and look at your tablet and look at the TV at the same time. Like this ain't really used to be heard of back in that time. Like you had a black and white TV, not a color TV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now we got 2-3 TVs looking at 3 TVs trying to look at this sport, and he on the tablet. Like you can't forget that. Like
yeah, I feel like personally, a lot of the things that we enjoy today have been invented from Black people. So
that's true.
keep beating slavery to people who have seen it so many times, and to your children, maybe let them know about what happened, but also beat into them how we have evolved than just that's a good this example. Is what happened, and you wouldn't be able to, but it's like you wouldn't be able to because so and so didn't invent this until such and such time.
Right. And I think that's more positive, and that's kind of like was my thoughts was just like, though slavery was very important and it was an egregious act and it was something that our people had to endure and kind of rose from the concrete. We have to be that where you come out of circumstances where the odds are stacked against you. I think it's important to have that, but I do believe that over teaching slavery to me teaches young Black boys that to society you're not worth as much as a white life is worth. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Well, I mean, if you think about it though, right? You don't see these movies about any. And this is where you got kind of get hot water. You don't see an abundance of Schindler's List. You know what I'm saying? I think they made Schindler's List about the Holocaust and all this stuff. And I don't think I've seen another movie about the Holocaust since. Not to say that it's not important. Not to say that I don't think Jewish people for a second forgot what happened. But as it pertains to Hollywood, you don't see like this an audience that is lining up to watch, the Holocaust movies. Right. But in conversely, every year they make a movie about slavery, and I'm just like, are we really lining up to go see Emancipation with Will Smith, aka the Chris Rock smacker? Are we lining up to see that? I'm not.
I mean, you're not, but it's still a history that you don't want to forget. It's just like if you forget it, you whitewash it. You putting it out of memory, out of sight. If you don't talk about it, you don't have to spend a whole bunch of time on it. But I think it needs to be at least remember where you came from.
I agree with that. But every year,
I mean,
maybe we should take a break. Break a slavery, because
okay.
Like,
I mean,
we've come along. We've had a Black president. Like, come on, guys.
Like,
there's other things in history that we can talk about. It's just like, I mean, in your personal life, if you've been through a tough situation, you don't want somebody to keep reminding you, you remember when you was down and out?
You're right.
Yeah.
Like, I was down and out, but look where I'm at now.
Right. Where are those movies at? The Where We At Now movies. Where are those movies at?
We need more movies about historical Black people that we don't know about, that invented these things. Like my son came to me. He said, Mom, I can't remember. It was a picture of somebody in my family. He said, that looks like George Crumb. I said, who?
Right.
He said, George Crumb. I said, who is that?
Right.
He said, that's the man that invented the potato chip. Black man. I didn't know that.
Wow. I didn't know either.
Look at that. Look at that.
We need a movie about George Crumb, the potato chip. Like,
I agree. I agree completely. I think we need to find ways to be painted in better lights other than just what we do athletically, because they'll make a movie about us athletically like this.
Yep.
Right.
You got the Jordan movie,
got
you
the
got
Jordan
Jackie
movie
Robinson
coming out,
movie, they'll make a movie about you being an entertainer. You got Whitney
Brown.
Houston, James Brown, everybody on drugs. You notice like everybody's flawed in some way. Like very seldom do they show a modeled black person who's done everything by the book, endured so much, and came out on the right side of things. That's what I want my son and my daughter to see. And maybe it's up to our generation to kind of produce these things.
Maybe you can write.
I can't. It ain't gonna be cheap.
Good luck with that.
I'm
It ain't gonna be cheap.
Sell it to the right person. Netflix probably pick that thing up.
Netflix would pick anybody up.
Netflix, Amazon. I mean, we can do this. We need some actors.
Shout out to them.
Zeus.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's
we can get on Tubi. We can get on Tubi tomorrow.
Let's do it.
We might put this on Tubi. Tubi pick up anything, boy. Goodness gracious.
Oh man.
Yeah. So.
But hey, that's what it is. So
It's still a hard knock life.
let's bring it back today. So as talk to you as a woman in the dating pool, would you want
I'm dating y'all.
would you want a man to be there for your kids as far as to teach them like this kind of stuff, like the past or the present, whatever it is? Would you want him to be involved?
I would want him to be
How
involved.
soon would you invite him in to be involved?
Good question.
How soon is a good question. Yes, I would want him to be involved to a certain extent, only because of the experiences that I've had. So I do know that it is healthy for young black boys to have more than one male figure in their life who is a very strong male figure.
Right.
And their dad's very active. But I also have brothers who are very active in their lives too. So another man would not hurt.
Okay.
Yes, I would want that.
Cool.
How soon? It just depends on the vibe, because I honestly do believe in love at first sight. I do believe you can have a connection and meet with somebody and have a real good and you can really feel love for that person.
Okay.
I do believe that. So it just depends.
You might be the only one that feel that way.
No, I'm sure I'm not 90 Day
You think
fiance.
You think that's real? You don't think none of that stage?
In some ways, because like I said, the dating pool is just why not go on a show? It's just like swiping.
Yeah, I'm thinking about going on the show.
But the problem with that, Flavor Flav kind of just ain't no way these females is lining
Man,
up.
they was in love with
This
Flav.
nigga ugly.
He gave me hope.
Flavor Flav, I do believe, was just for play. But nowadays, The Bachelor, there was some fine men on there.
But that's the thing though, right? You
How
got
many
guys who go on
black
there.
guys was on there?
I
How many
don't
black
think
guys was
any.
The Bachelor?
I don't
One,
think.
I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
But this is the thing. The guys, I don't think the guy who went on there, most of the guys who go on there, I don't think they got problems getting females in real life.
That's
Exactly.
the problem. That's why I want to come up with a show. I'm not gonna tell y'all my idea, but I'm gonna come up with a show.
Boy, that man got upset. Jesus.
That was
I'm gonna come up with a
right
show
there.
for the blue collar man that ain't got all that kind of money, ain't got this kind of all this stuff that they want to throw out there and say this man gotta have. I'm gonna come up with a show.
That wouldn't be a bad show.
Cause I mean,
But not all women require all that. There are some women who will be down for the grind and help you get to where you need to be.
okay. Yeah, and I want them women to come on the show. It's coming. Give me about.
Sound like he branching off, y'all. I don't know.
I ain't gonna leave. I ain't gonna leave.
I
You can host with me.
I can't do nothing but hold the camera, bro. You ain't get me in trouble. I can't do nothing but hold the camera for you, bro.
Oh man.
Do not link me with that one.
right. We got to draw the line in the sand, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? But no, man, this is very interesting conversations. Very interesting conversations, man. So,
Okay.
oh man, this was a long one. How long we been going this? About an hour. Goodness gracious.
Really?
I'm a talker.
Oh no, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, this probably the longest one we done.
Yeah.
Except for that lost file.
Yeah, we had a loss one. Couple technical difficulties.
Yeah.
You know, we got workout stuff. You know,
That
what I
was
mean?
probably about an hour and 30, 40.
Yeah, it was a while. Well, long story short, for those people, we was trying to be cheap, so we had a setup and we had cell phones, and the cell phones didn't cell phone.
Cell phones failed us.
They did, and they should have. You know what I'm saying? Because it taught you a lesson that know what I'm saying? When you passionate and you want to do something, sometimes you got to make that investment and do what need to be done. So
Absolutely. You
what we
Jimmy
doing.
rigged it.
Yeah,
And it didn't work.
We Jimmy rigged it. We thought it was going to work
I
out.
thought it was gonna work.
Yeah, it didn't.
It looked promising.
Yeah. Until we got back and I started going through the edit.
Tried,
I'm like,
you failed, you tried again.
it was bad. Stuff was out of focus. Words didn't match with the actual. I was just like, I couldn't do it. So this has been better, and this experience has been better. So it's definitely been a positive thing.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Good.
It's good. So, what you at?
You want to close? We can close.
We can close. Let's do it.
Well, you guys, that's all for the show. It's been awesome.
As
and
always.
we'll see you next time.
I like it.
I like that. And we out.
And we out.